Did you know that "how to sell my watch" is one of the top most searched keywords in Google and other search engines? Selling your Rolex watch is a great investment that pays out handsomely. Pre-owned Rolex watches are in high demand, and you don't want to pass up the opportunity to obtain a good deal on yours. Rolex watches are one of the most popular pre-owned items. The value of most other pre-owned things decreases, but Rolex watches, on the other hand, maintain or even increase in value over time since they are one-of-a-kind premium items. Marketing your worn Rolex might be a great way to get some extra cash or upgrade to a newer model if you're in a pinch. Though keep in mind that you'll have to sell your Rolex watch with caution. You must follow the correct methods in order to sell your goods and get the most out of your Rolex watch. There are a few things you should know before selling your Rolex watch, and here we have provided you 8 essential things you need to know before you sell your pre-loved Rolex watch. Hello you guys, and welcome back to our channel. So today we are going to share with you tips and things that you should consider to secure the best deal in selling your Rolex watch. Number 1. Recheck your Rolex watch's present condition. Analyze its condition. The condition of a Rolex watch may have a significant impact on its value when selling it. If you've never worn the watch before, it'll most likely be classified as NOS or new old stock. These watches are frequently worth a lot of money since they are in excellent condition. Even if you've worn your Rolex on a regular basis, if you've taken care of it, you'll be able to sell it for a good price. Vintage Rolex watches are more difficult to value since their condition is more difficult to establish. Collectors seek out evidence of age, such as varied hue of the dials or the watch's hands. Early Rolex sport watches, for example, had dials made of gold. The markers, text, logo, and minute track on gilt dials are often in a warm gold hue on a gloss black background. These are extremely uncommon and precious. If any of the watch's components have been replaced, the value will almost certainly decrease. Original watch bands and dials normally fetch a higher price. Meanwhile, some Rolex watches often have a history of inheritance. They might be handed down through the generations after generations after generations, and as a result, before putting your watch on the market, you should thoroughly inspect it. Check to see if it still operates, sails, and performs properly. You may also hire a professional to clean, oil, polish, and repair your watch. It will raise the value over what it was previously. Number 2. Having the original papers and box will pay off when selling used Rolex. Before having your Rolex evaluated, look for the original box and documents. While you may sell the watch without them, the original box normally fetches a higher price. This might include any manuals, warranties, or additional band links that came with it. These genuine accessories, particularly the Rolex paperwork, can also aid in the authentication of your Rolex, as counterfeit watches are very popular. If you have the original receipt, then you are lucky. Showing it to the buyers will give them an idea about how much you have paid for the model. This can also prevent the buyers from lowballing you. If you don't have it, you could do some additional research to establish what are the current prices of the model you possess. If you have any repairs or maintenance receipts, show them to the buyers. This will prove the watch was taken care of properly and it's in great condition. Next, get to know your watch and research the market value of your watch. Learn everything you can about your Rolex watch. Do some study on the material and the history of the model in question. Determine its demand and worth. Speak with a watch expert and, if feasible, get feedback from other users of the same model. Otherwise, you'll be speechless in front of highly professional buyers who will tell you different stories based on their preferences. It's also critical to comprehend the distinction between retail and market value. When you sell anything to a dealer or jeweler, you may expect them to resale it for a profit to a customer. This indicates they'll give you less money than they'll get when they sell it. The difference between the two figures also provides for any repairs, cleaning, or maintenance that may be required. Another method you can use to determine your specific Rolex watch's market value is by requesting a quote from a Rolex watch expert or from a trusted pre-owned Rolex company. While the Rolex's value does not depreciate much, other variables such as having a common or undesirable model might result in you receiving less money. So, while you're figuring out how much your Rolex is worth, don't forget to check the market value. And since you now know the market value of your watch, you may this time set your price. How much is my Rolex worth? After gathering all the information, you will have a brief idea about the price limit of your watch. Now you can talk to some of the dealers and prospective buyers and observe the offers and set your price range. And if you keep track of all your receipts, you're in luck. Bringing your original receipt of purchase to the watch buyer will show the appraiser how much you paid for the Rolex new, giving them a better estimate of its value. It may also deter them from underplaying you. Bring any maintenance or repair receipts you may have saved. This demonstrates that the watch has been well cared for and is in good working order, boosting the price they're willing to offer you. After doing your research and setting a price for your item, do more research. Try to know as much as you can about your Rolex watch. Do a little research about the material and the history of the particular model. Collect more information, especially the reference number. If you already lost your receipt, don't worry because that's not an issue. If you don't have the original receipt for your Rolex watch and can't recall how much it cost, simply look at the watch for the reference or model number. Only by removing the watch band can you view the 4 to 6 digit number etched on the side of the case. If you have the original documentation or manual that came with your watch, you'll probably find this number there as well. This figure will serve as a guideline for your study and will aid in determining its worth. It is also important to check and get the serial number of your watch, and remember to never get public with it. The serial number of your Rolex watch is just as significant as the reference number. The serial number can assist you in figuring out when your Rolex watch was made. Every Rolex watch has a unique serial number that only that watch has. Because faking Rolex watches is so widespread, you should never divulge your watch's serial number in images or online listings. However, because there are various databases online that track watches, you may learn a lot about them by utilizing this number. It's just as simple to find your serial number as it is to get your reference number, depending on how old your Rolex is. The serial number can be located in one of two places. The serial number is etched on the case if the watch was created before 2004. The watch band, like the reference number, must be removed to see it. For most models after 2005, Rolex inscribed the serial number on the back of the watch casing. Between the dial and the crystal is the rehaut. The word Rolex is etched on the ring of several Rolex models from the mid-2000s and beyond. The serial number is etched at the 6 o'clock point around the entire face. While earlier watches' serial numbers just contained digits, modern models frequently feature letters as well. The serial number on your Rolex watch is crucial since it helps establish the year your Rolex watch was made, which determines its worth. Knowing the exact model and year of your Rolex watch can greatly aid in establishing the worth and sale price of your prized possession. Now that you have all the important information about your Rolex watch, it's time to post it and entice your prospect market. Keep in mind to take some good photos of your pre-owned Rolex timepiece. When selling anything valuable like a Rolex, having high quality, high resolution, and clear photographs of the item is critical. Take photos of both the back and front sides of your watch. Make sure you shoot it from several angles and that the space is well lit. You may also photograph all of the documents. The buyer may rapidly determine the present state and come up with a higher value by evaluating the images. Lastly, finding someone to purchase Rolex watches might be difficult when selling such a costly item. It's advisable to look for a trustworthy jeweler rather than going to an auction site like eBay or meeting someone on Craigslist. These alternatives are frequently riskier than they are worthwhile, and you might lose both the watch and the money. Pawn shops are convenient for quick cash, but they won't give you nearly as much as someone who knows how much luxury watches are worth. You may also opt for professional watch dealers, as they would usually have all the required expertise to authenticate and appraise your watch. Also, they have enough cash on hand to cover the cost of your beloved timepiece in the blink of an eye. So make sure that you do your best to find a reputable buyer for your watch. You must relocate a reliable buyer for your expensive item in order to get a decent offer. Rolex watches are incredibly expensive, so do your homework to guarantee you receive a decent price and aren't taken advantage of. Consider different factors such as reputation, geographical location, customer ratings, and reviews when selecting a buyer. This should give you a good notion of whether or not they are trustworthy. Take into account all of these factors and you'll be able to rapidly sell your used Rolex watch for a higher price. You may get a shot of your earning potential for one of the top luxury items by following these steps. Sell your Rolex watch now with these steps in mind so that you have the highest return. And that concludes our video today. I hope we were able to help you, and we wish you all the luck and fortune in selling your Rolex. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!